Good morning. We're
Good morning.
back, and we're
back.
talking about
Pregnancy and anxiety, Kendall. And you know what, Kendall? We can talk about this for a long, long time because we are anxious people.
I'm anxious. I'm just.
And, I'm easygoing.
Well, I like to think of myself as neurotic. It's a much more sophisticated.
Well, your husband calls you a little neurotic. Yeah. The truth is, I'm anxious only really when I'm pregnant because it is the fear of the unknown, the fear of what if. You have a human being inside you. You cannot see what's going on. You are not privy to what's happening inside. So many things can and do go wrong, unfortunately. But a lot of time, most of the time, it goes well. We don't mean to scare you. Shall we start over? Don't get scared.
Wait.
No. Yes.
Things do go wrong.
But
Thank
under
goodness.
doctor's care, good care, you do the tests, you do the ultrasounds, you do the blood work, you do all these things, and everything should go very well.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Fortunately,
Yes.
things do go well.
But what they're saying here, it is normal for you to be anxious when you're pregnant because you worry about whether the baby is healthy, whether the baby is eating, and you worry mostly about
If you don't feel it move, did it move?
Right.
I worried about that a lot. I'm like, that's funny. It was moving for the last 3 days.
Yes,
Today it's not.
You really do. You're always conscious of when it's moving,
Yeah.
but you're also so worried about giving birth, about the pain, and how this a little opening all of a sudden accommodates the large head. And that was my biggest fear because I was a very small, skinny person at the first child that I gave birth. That was about 95 pounds, I told you this. And I gained only about 25 pounds, which was all the baby weight. And I kept thinking and having nightmares, how is this huge? Because the doctor was warning me the baby's going to be over 8.5 pounds. And I was already at 3.5, I was 2 or 3 weeks early when he told me that. So if the baby's 8.5 pounds at that stage, imagine when I'm fully ready to give birth. So I was so anxious. But no one really explained to me about dilation and how that works and how
Where did you miss that?
Yeah, I was young, I was 20 and so on and so forth. 19,
We have books. There are books. You should read them. I gave birth to a smaller first child. I do have to say that the first time you give birth, your body can't possibly be prepared because it's never done this before.
No.
So the things that happened the first time, at least in my experience, will never happen again.
Well, you got to make sure you get a really good, understanding, sensitive doctor because my doctor, which will remain nameless.
I only had that for one of mine.
What they do is they do the internals to see if you're dilated. And he came to me, and I was all of 20, and I wasn't used to having children, never had. It's my first baby. He checked me internally and goes, "Oh, you're only about 4 centimeters," and I winced, And he looked at me with this rage in his face, and he goes, "Why are you wincing? Stop acting like a baby. You're having a baby." And I was so taken aback. I was like, "Oh my God," So the first thing you got to do, get a doctor with very wonderful bedside manners.
Do that, but you're still, when the time comes to give birth, your doctor might not be there. I gave birth the second time. My doctor didn't make it there because I'm very efficient in the delivery
get a good
department.
understanding husband. Find one.
You know what my...
Or friends. Take them all in. I'll take you. Heck, I'll take you, Ken. We'll have a party. But you know what?
Whatever.
You got to know this is a very scary thing you're going through, and especially the first child. Since you don't know what's happening to your body, and it's all new and traumatizing.
I'm more practical. They're coming out. For years they've been coming out. For generations. For millennia. Millennia.
Now we got
they
drugs,
have been coming
girl.
out.
We got
come out.
drugs, girl. Anyways, we'll be right back and talk more about this topic in just a moment.